Welcome back, DNA Strand crew, to the newest episode of the Culture Shock here on the Dynasty DNA Podcasting Network. I'm your host, as always, TJ Blake. You can follow me over on Twitter at FFTJBlakeDNA. And as always, for his show, we're joined by the cultured one. It's the one and only Bob Helfert. You can follow him on Twitter at Big E Fat Bob. Bob, week 16 in the books, round 2 of the Dynasty playoffs nearing an end here after tonight and Monday night's games. A lot to talk about. You ready to dive into some week 16 talk here?
Yeah, week 16 has officially pissed me off, I believe. So let's go talking about it.
Uh-oh, here we go. So let's just jump in right now. He's not in a good mood, ladies and gentlemen. Topic 1. What's on your mind tonight, Bob? Let's just hear it. Maybe I can help you through this. We could talk about a little therapeutic Dynasty talk. What do you have?
I want to demand a PED test on Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what happened. This dude was absolute dog water for like 5 years of his career. And all of a sudden he's turned into Superman with flowing Goldilocks blonde hair and like rushing the ball in and stuff and showing like toughness and grit and like a determination to win games. This is nothing what we've seen for the first 4 years of his career. Matter of fact, I believe in the offseason we called him soft. He doesn't have the heart. He just wants to be a cool, chill surfer guy. What? Like, did his wife divorce him or something? I don't, did he just get like, I don't understand. And I want to just believe it's probably Liam Cohen. I want to believe that, like, maybe he just lit a fire under his butt. Maybe Liam Cohen is good enough looking that maybe the wife's looking the other way and it's pissing Trevor Lawrence off. I don't know, but like for whatever reason, this team is turning around and it's aggravating. I got eliminated last week by Trevor Lawrence team. TJ just said 2 weeks in a row he's been eliminated by a Trevor Lawrence team. It's dumb, and I'm aggravated.
Yeah, I mean, look, I am too, Bob, and I love the way you had to open that up because, like, if you got kicked in the balls by Trevor Lawrence these last couple of weeks, I can see where you're coming from, but, you're absolutely right. I love what you had to say there. Is this guy on the juice or what? Because you're not wrong. I mean, we did talk about this a lot this offseason, and he is that kind of guy that strikes you in the opinion of being that chill surfer dude. And like, man, he has totally flipped the script. And like you said, I don't know if it's just like he's buying into what Liam Cohen's preaching or whatever, or the system's just perfect for him. But man, oh man, this Jacksonville team looks totally different. And big props on the Jacoby Myers trade. Like, that has been a very good move for them. Picked them up for next to nothing. I think a lot of people scratched their head when they made that move, but it was a very, very solid one. And this guy, like you said, eliminating people from their leagues. I mean, it's just been unbelievable. And I mean, hey, do you think though, Bob, let's just go ahead. We'll talk about it for 1 second before we move on. I mean, if Liam Cohen's there, I think that ETN, I want to get your opinion, but I think ETN is very, very important in this. Like, if I have Trevor Lawrence and if I have Jacksonville Jaguar assets, and Travis Etienne. If I have Travis Etienne, I want him back in Jacksonville. And I think that if you have Trevor Lawrence, I think you almost need that to happen. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so, because what I saw of LaQuint Allen today and Bashal Tutin's like been 50-50 or whatever. But we've talked about this before. I'll spray it ad nauseum. You can't have a one-back system. I don't care how good you are. Even Bijan Robinson is getting spelled. You got to have more than one back. And ETN looks really good with the way this system, and I mean, it looks like he's put on muscle. Like when I seen him today, I was like, "What?" He looks a little thicker today. Maybe I just wasn't paying as much attention. Maybe T-Law's flowing locks has got me blinded or whatever. But like it, I don't know. And maybe the team just pisses me off so much that I can't watch them too long. So yeah, I think ETN needs to stay if they can. If they're the right suitor for the team, because I just don't think they have on the docket who would just be an instant replacement. And at that point, then you got to go get somebody else, and then you got to worry about continuity and so on and so forth.
Agreed. And I think that's a big thing. If you all out there have Jacksonville Jaguar assets this offseason, watch this ETN news. I think if he's back there, I am definitely going to continue to believe in this team because I think that he is kind of the straw that stirs the drink. I know Trevor Lawrence has been doing a bunch of damage, but I think ETN, like the way they're able to run the ball with him, set it up off play action, I think it's just been huge for this team. So I think that's very important to watch this offseason. And look, I'm going to say this right now. If ETN's back, I'm buying into Trevor Lawrence. Like, I just think that, this division's a soft, weak division. Liam Cohn's the perfect coach for this team. The system's working perfectly. And if ETN's back and everything's all good, nothing changed. And you got to give the Jaguar defense some credit too, right? Like these guys are no pushovers anymore. Like they're a solid, good, tough unit. And I mean, if they do put Hunter on that side of the ball, it will be interesting, right? If he's more of that defensive guy. So something else to watch. But Bob, I'm so glad you brought up Trevor Lawrence from a dynasty aspect.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Like, my favorite format are 10 team, 2 QB, full IDP, blah, blah, blah. But like a guy last year traded Trevor Lawrence basically for like a second round Debbie pick. And I'm like, what? And then like after 2 weeks, the guy that traded for him dropped him because he was like bad. Like, I can't remember what it was. I'm like, what did you like? What? He's like, he's seen how bad he is or whatever. Like, I'm like, what? I was blown away. Like, and I didn't get to the waiver wire quick enough to grab him up. And the guy that traded him away snatched him back up. And I think they're like father and son. So it's even more funny. But then like he blows up. I'm like, stop, man. Like, oh, it's aggravating.
And I
But
think that's
yeah.
a good final point, Bob. I think that's a good final point. Like you specifically have talked about this a lot on this network about quarterbacks. Like, just don't give them away, right? Like we talked about, like when Jacoby Brissett got named the starter for the Arizona Cardinals, I got him for so many third, fourth round picks. And I mean, this guy here, I mean, as many leagues I'm in, like he's on a lot of my rosters that are going to championship games next week, right? Got him for nothing. So the moral of the story is like, I mean, even if it's bad, like you look at it right now, like Geno Smith, right? Like I know it's terrible, but I mean, unless I could get something that I feel is decent value, I'm not just going to ship them out to ship them out. I mean, there's only so many quarterbacks. You talked about it, Bob. The play's been bad, kind of all over the place. Look how many teams need them going into the season. So, I mean, we ain't going to have an over surplus, like you said. So, I mean, just go ahead and hold on to these guys. Like, Trevor Lawrence is a prime example, right? There were people out there trading them for next to nothing, as you said, maybe dropping them, whatever. Like, that's absurd. So I'm glad you
Yeah, it
brought
was
that up.
dumb.
And I think that's a good point.
Well, let's just make that topic number 2 real quick. Like, what are we going to do at QB next year? Because like even backups are tearing their ACLs now. Like, we're going to have a very piss poor beginning of the year with quarterbacks next year. I mean, with guys coming back. I mean, Daniel Jones. I mean, who knows what happens in Indianapolis? Who knows what happens in KC if they don't have Gardner Minshew to even fall back on if he tears his ACL? Like, we don't know. It's like we had the battle of the psychopath quarterbacks today with New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. Like, one schizophrenic and the other one, just wants to run through brick walls all the time. And like, it was funny because Slim's throwing shade at JJ, and I look at Dart's yardage or whatever. And he had like one completion for 2 yards. I'm like, you're not going to mention the other guy at all, but like JJ supposedly, oh, he's so awful. Like, and I mean, again, they all need time and they're not getting it. They're just being thrown to the wolves. And like, I'm legitimately was beginning to try and formulate this idea that like, hey, I think all the teams that are going to the playoffs have good defenses. Like, it just seemed like there's none of them that are like this juggernaut offense that's just steamrolling everybody. It's like they all have pretty solid defenses. And I mean, then you got the Texans, who really can't play offense very well at all, and their defense is carrying them, like dragging them through. And I mean, they've picked up a little bit, sure, but like they're still in a weak division or whatever. So it's like, but man, like we had CJ Stroud go down with injury right earlier in the year, and he's come back. We've had Kyler Murray go down with injury, and he's not going to play the rest of the year. We've got Penix, who's done, got hurt or whatever, not going to come back. And I mean, I'm just trying to run through them as Lamar Jackson's been injured and had to have replacement games. Bryce Young or whatever came out of a couple games or whatever and had to have a substitute play. The Browns have had like 16 quarterbacks start for them this year. I'm probably exaggerating, but it feels like a whole lot. the Chargers, I don't remember if Herbert's missed time, but I think I remember seeing Trey Lance on the field for a couple plays anyway. So, whatever.
Tua got benched this week. Joe Burrow's been hurt. You're right, Bob.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then, like the Cowboys, I was just going through the games here. We know that Dak every other year for some kind of injury. I mean, it's just in his DNA. It seems that he every other year he gets hurt for an extended period of time. You're right with Tua, Burrow. The Jets don't have a quarterback. Shucks or whatever. We've had two quarterbacks for that team. We're back. That's the Vikings. Of course, McCarthy was out for a while. The Giants had three different quarterbacks play this year. The Chiefs, is Ward really the real deal? Hopefully he can still stay healthy. Brissett and the Cardinals. I mean, we talked about Murray already, but then Trevor Lawrence has stayed healthy all year. Knock on wood for the poor guy. Nix has stayed healthy all year. Aaron Rodgers has been the only quarterback for the Steelers. Goff's been the only quarterback for the Lions. The Raiders need a new quarterback. The 49ers have had two quarterbacks this year. I already talked about the Colts. Stafford stayed healthy, knock on wood. Darnold stayed healthy, knock on wood. Hurts. The Commanders are rolling through quarterbacks. The Packers have had they had to have what's his name play this week, Malik Willis. And the Bears, and Caleb Williams has stayed healthy. So that's like, but almost every team has had at least QB snaps by the other guy, if not a start from another guy.
So let me say this.
Don't get rid of your quarterbacks. Yeah.
Yes. That quarterback horde, Bob, right? Like that's the term. And what's funny is, and I'm glad we're talking about this, again, because in the past, that's always been a sound strategy, but it seems like, as you say, every year it's starting to become more and more prevalent. Like when you're in even the late rounds of startups, start taking these guys, right? Start taking these guys down there. Mac Jones, you could hit and get the value there and just trade them on, or you could keep them, right? If you are a contending team, have a little bit of value there. So the quarterback hoarding strategy is getting more and more important as the years go on. And, you look at these torn ACLs, and you brought it up to start this all about with Gardner Minshew and Patrick Mahomes back-to-back weeks. And look, if you have Chiefs assets right now, it's just going bad from worse. And they're going to have to almost do some kind of move, whether it be trying to trade for a Mac Jones or something like that. I think they almost have to try something, because this has just really gotten from bad to worse for the Kansas City Chiefs. But the quarterback hoard strategy, I think you have to do that nowadays, especially in startups, right? You're down there, like I said, and there's no other guys. You're like, oh, I don't really want to pick anybody. I think I got Joe Flacco in that inner circle league where I'm in the championship game this week. I think I got him in the 20-something round, right? You just pick these guys, see what happens, and then maybe have a little bit of gold there. It's a little bit of value. And I think quarterback hoarding is getting more and more important as you say that. And I think one other thing, Bob, another question I want to ask you, are you more inclined to look, and the injuries you can't prevent, you're going to see some of that, right? But just based off of what you're saying, you look at some of these guys, and we brought them up, some of these guys that are lower tier than your Josh Allen, Drake May, would you be inclined to overpay a little bit for some of these guys if you need quarterbacks, just because it's look, yeah, of course they could get injured, but you should have a guy that's steady, like a Jared Goff, one of these guys that have been around a little bit, Brock Purdy. You willing to overpay a little bit just to have them and a little security?
What I want to do is make sure that I get the tough guy group, right? Golf seems to be healthy all the time. He takes a lot of hits. Herbert takes a lot of hits. And even though he's been out sometimes and he broke his freaking hand and he's wearing a stupid glove on it like Michael Jackson out there, but it's he's playing like a dog, right? And so it's I want to get from that group. I want to be careful about going and overpaying for Joe Burrow, because, not only does he have a frequent flyer pass for the hospital, he's also got an offensive line that likes to bullfight and just Olay, and let him through. Yeah, there's guys, and maybe not necessarily overpay, but go get a whole bunch of flyers on guys you think may be Flacco, even before he went to Cincinnati, he was still viable kind of in Cleveland, guys that, like I've bought Zach Wilson this year. I would have thought that if Tua got hurt earlier, Zach Wilson might have played, but then they leaped over. And it's like somebody was talking about, like, oh, you talking about buying Zach Wilson was really dumb because now they've started Quinn Ewers. I'm like, well, they're not going to worry about what Zach Wilson looks like. They need to see if they have anything in Ewers, because Zach Wilson's a free agent. It's not like you're going to throw Zach Wilson out there, and if he has 2 good games or even looks successful, you're going to give him a mega deal or whatever, because why would you do that? You're not going to. And I mean, nobody's going to give him a mega deal anyway, but they've seen him in practice. They have not seen Ewers in game time. So yeah, I would overpay for some of the guys that I like. And I mean, maybe Tyler Shuck, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say it too loud because, the guy's got his frequent flyer pass to the hospital too. In college, he had not many guys play 7 years, and a couple of them were full redshirt years. So it's like, but yeah, he looks really good right now too.
So just
Me, I'm staying away from all the lefties, but go ahead.
absolutely. So just a little lightning round. Just a couple things I ask you. 2 seconds for Tyler Shuck needing quarterback help. Would you
Oh,
go for that?
yeah, yeah, especially if one of them's a 26. If I can do 26, 28 and keep my 7, then I'm good with that.
Okay. How about we do 2 firsts for Brock Purdy? Would you go that far?
No, I would do a first and a second probably per Brock Purdy, no problem. Or
How,
maybe I'd even throw in a position player.
how about 2 firsts and a second for Justin Herbert?
Yeah, depending on if they're like lady first, but I want to keep my 27s. But yeah, you get my point.
Okay, so just some ideas, right? Some guys like that, and like you said, Bob, like you said about the tough guy type of a deal. So I mean, get them type guys. You think that they're going to stay in there. Goff's almost like an Iron Man, right? Justin Herbert plays through a lot of stuff, so them guys are both good examples. So we have John Smith saying Wilson was on a 1-year deal too. Yeah, so okay, he's chiming in telling us on Zach Wilson. We have Teixeira saying Jaguars playing like they're Super Bowl bound Broncos are their toughest competition, and they just stomped them. Yes, they did. They did to Sharon. He said, "Good game, Steelers. I told you, TJ. Let's call it Warren and Gainwell or Sonic and Knuckles." Teixeira, the refs helped the Steelers. I will tell you that right now. That's what happened. No, it was right down to the wire. I was hoping we'd lose it. I was hoping we'd lose it because we need to make some changes. But it's okay. We somehow stuck in there and was able to hold on. But Bob, okay, love the quarterback talk. A lot of good points brought up to you by you. Like we talked about quarterback hoarding. We talked about maybe overpaying for some of these guys that we like that are more of the tough guy quarterbacks that maybe we have a little security. What's topic number 3 here tonight?
Use this blow up game for Mash and Genty to go ahead and sell, because no matter how good he looked against this defense, this was a team that knew they had this game in the bag. Did they shock him a little bit? Did he get a couple of blow up plays to get yardage? Yes. It's like he's got 126 total yards, right? And the plays that he scored on were like what, a 57-yard screen and like a 40-something yard run or whatever. Like you just got a couple broken play touchdowns. Like, I'm not saying, again, not saying the kid's a bad player. I'm only saying that the Vegas Raiders are trash. You don't want guys from this team. It worries me. I mean, like, it's just I don't want him to get hurt, right? And I don't, but I also am like, I don't know how this team rebuilds itself. We've talked about it ad nauseum. I feel like I'm just, somebody, I can't remember if they were talking about Pitts or if they were talking about Genty in our chat about somebody being a league winner. And I'm like, if you're in the playoffs and you're still starting Genty, then my God, you have got balls bigger than anybody I know, because I can't even fathom that, number one, you were relying on that guy, and number two, that you had the sack to start him. So yeah, if you were playing him in your playoffs, congratulations, but like I highly doubt it. Most people that had him were rebuilding last year, and they're going to be rebuilding this year, because your number one pick didn't get you very far until this week, and he really only did it then. Yeah, I just what we talked about this just a little bit ago. Like, everybody needs a a backup. You know what I mean? And Genty right now doing it all on his own. Um, you know, to share is blowing up in our chat. So it's like, but yeah, it's legitimately like there's got like if I had Genty, I would trade down to Chase Brown and hopefully get a second on top if I could do that. Like and I'm not really excited about Cincinnati, but Chase Brown seems to be working in the right direction. I knew that was my I got lost and I seen Genty. That was my topic 3, but we'll just keep with Genty, but then we'll use that for topic 4. So yeah, I don't know how you feel about that, TJ. I know at certain points we talked about it's a good time to be like a buy low guy, but like I don't know, man. Tell me how this team gets better fast. And that's what you need when you're a running back. You need the team to get better fast. And I just don't see it.
So let me say this, Bob. You know, I'll go out and start like this. Like, I do agree with you when you say sell Ashton Jenny, because I will go back to your point and like basically what we talked about when the draft was beginning, the 2025 draft and post 2025 rookie draft, that running backs you want to sell, right? I mean, look, I mean, that's just the facts of life. I mean, look, I mean, I'm not saying if you're a contender, you don't want to hold on to them. You're going to try to win, obviously, right? But honestly, you're always looking at the best opportunity to make a move, like you said, maybe take a Jenny, get into a Chase Brown. Could you get Chase Brown in the first? I think maybe you could, just because of the name value of Ashton Jenny and what everyone likes about him. So, like, that's a good trade, but like, we've seen it. What you always preach about with these running backs, we've seen it today. My man, my guy, Quinshawn Judkins goes down with a broken leg. And this is the kind of stuff you've seen. We've seen it with Cam Scadabo. I mean, it's a crusher. It's heart deflating. I mean, we like a lot of these guys, and man, that's why you got to be careful with running backs. You can't play with fire. And basically, what you're saying, like, to me, the odds are in your favor. Like, I love Slim, but the odds are in your favor of being more right about Jenny, because number one, the position he plays, being a running back. Number two, the Las Vegas Raiders, and like you said, Bob, it is a problem. This is a 2-win football team. If they go ahead and draft a quarterback and they leave what they have in all these holes, like, do you really think this team's going to get that much better when you have the Chargers, you have the Broncos, and the Chiefs are still a ghost? I understand that. Like, I mean, with everything that's happened, but they still have a lot of pride. They still have a lot of good players on that team. I mean, you're just not going to push them around. Like, I just don't think that'll happen next year. I think they'll at least show up a little bit and play with a little pride. So, I mean, you just kind of look at it across the board, odds in every direction. I mean, what's the best odds? And I mean, hey, if you get the right deal for Jenny, definitely sell, right? Like, I'm not underselling, but like, he's the kind of player with the name value. I feel like you don't have to undersell, because so many people are interested. So many people believe in the hype. And like you said, after a game like this, could be a great time. Go get you maybe a Chase Brown in the first if you could pull that off. That's a great move, because, I mean, you know this just as well as I do. As bad as Cincinnati's defense is, and as bad as their offensive line is, with their quarterback getting killed, they have no business taking a running back in this draft, which is a weaker draft class at running back than it was last year. So I'm really not too concerned with Chase Brown. And when you always talk about it too, we see a lot of teams have a 1-2 punch. So even if they bring someone in, is it going to kill them that bad? So, I mean, we see Mononga and Swift. I mean, they have a little bit of hit or miss here and there, but I mean, it works out for them. Montgomery and Gibbs did it for a long time. So I'm in agreement with you, Bob. I think that this is a great opportunity. We talk about Dynasty being a stock market. You ride the highs and the lows. You buy and sell at the right time. There could be a better time to buy Ashton Jenny, but right now is a good time to sell, and I'm with you on that.
Well, it's like when we did the deep dive the other day and we did sales, I was like, after we were done and I listened to it again, I'm like, I was legit the only one that brought up a running back. That's what you should be doing. Sell all the RBs, because it's too volatile of a position. But whatever. I it's like, I don't care who it is. You know, if they're on the Raiders, they just don't have much of a place on my team. Like, it's terrible. Like I said, Brock Bowers is the shining gem, and he's got 7 touchdowns on the year. I'm like, man, imagine if they had a team to play around Brock Bowers, because man, what happens if that dude was on the Chiefs? Are you serious right now?
He probably, well, we got to remember that the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. If they had Patrick Mahomes, I mean, honestly, he'd probably have 20 touchdowns. I mean, as good as Brock Bowers is. So, no, you're right, Bob. And the Raiders are the black hole. maybe they're the black hole of Dynasty, right? Like, we got to try to stay away from that. And look, and I'm happy for Jenny, as we've said on this network a million times, and I know you agree with me. We're not saying the kid don't have talent, but I think you just got to be careful because the position he plays, the team that he's on, and how much better can it get, right? I mean, maybe if the Raiders do the right moves and then you're interested, you can get in there a little bit cheaper. But right now, I think I would try to flip after this blow up game. I'm with you on that if I get the right package, Bob. But let's go into the next topic here. What do you have for us, Big Culture?
All right. As I was talking about drug tests for Tyler or for Trevor Lawrence, let's get a cognitive test on the Cincinnati Bengals management. Like, what is this team? What are they doing? Like, if they piss Burrow off and they lose Burrow, like, most people don't know, I went out of town this weekend. I was in Louisville, ran into a Cincinnati Bengals fan in the elevator, and of course he's all decked out, or not decked out, but he had some stuff on. And I'm like, I said, who do the Bengals even play this weekend? I can't remember. He's like, I said Dolphins. He's like, I haven't really been paying attention since they got knocked out of the playoffs. And I'm thinking, man, that was early. You haven't been paying attention for a while, but I wasn't going to roast the guy. And my boy Smitty in here, he's a Cincinnati fan. So he's probably feeling a little bit of the heat too. But what I'm concerned that they are going to be so bad, or they're going to ruin Burrow. And we've talked about this before. Again, it's another quarterback situation, but it's not just him you got to worry about. You got the offensive weapons. Chase Brown or Jamar Chase is a winner. He wants to win. And it's like, if that's going away because they can't keep their quarterback healthy, then what happens? It's like, you got to get this offensive line straight. And even when you get the offensive line straight, you better figure out how to fix the defense. They're going to lose Trey Hendrickson this year. They probably aren't upset about that, although they should have traded him and got something for him, which is kind of like why I'm like, let's get a cognitive test. Like, are they just crazy, or are they dumb? You know what I mean? Or is it both? TJ is a Pittsburgh fan. He knows this division. He's seen it year in and year out. They just do stupid things. And I mean, the Bengals going to bungle, right? Or the Bungles. I mean, it's whatever their nickname has been for years. It's like they just don't have a very solid plan. And I mean, I don't know if it starts with Taylor. I don't know if it starts with the GM, which I'm not even sure who the GM is. But
I'm not sure either. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I know the Brown family's the owners.
Maybe the Brown family has got a little Jerry Jones syndrome, right? Maybe they just what is this? He goes, but yeah. So, and I like Chase Brown, and Burrow likes to dump off to Chase Brown, and it works off of itself. But like, man, they've got to get that offensive line straight, and they got to get some defense, some semblance of a defense, or Burrow is just gonna. I hope he doesn't go out of the league, but he certainly is going to be like, I need to get out of this situation.
So let me say this, Bob, giving me a little credit for the Chase Brown buy talk, right? I mean, I think you're just throwing a little bit of credit my way. And look, I appreciate it, just giving you a hard time. But yes, I like Chase Brown too. Everyone knows it. And if you have in the last couple of weeks, you're very happy with what you've seen. And we said it, right? He would be fine as long as Joe Burrow's there. And that goes back to your point. Like, it is very concerning with him and what he's going to do. Like, history repeats itself. And I know you brought this up as well. Like, what happened with Carson Palmer, right? Like, it was very similar. I mean, he got hurt all the time. They could not keep him upright. He got smacked around. They had that high volume, high explosive offense, and then it just kind of withered away. He wanted out of Cincinnati, right? I mean, you're getting rumblings right now, and like, it's just curious, right? Because like when we talked about Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, we were early on that, maybe earlier on this than anybody. Like, it's kind of the same thing with Joe Burrow. Like, you're hearing these things kind of low key under the radar. Is it his people who's putting it out, right? I mean, it very well could be, right? Just trying to throw and force Cincinnati's hand to do something. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you on this, Bob. They're walking a tightrope. And if you have Joe Burrow, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous because you've seen Andrew Luck walk away with millions and millions of dollars. And if you looked at it, right, they put up a graph or a statistic, and it showed Andrew Luck and Joe Burrow side by side. He was sacked more to this point, Joe Burrow has been in his career, than Andrew Luck was. And like they said, he's actually, that don't even count how many times he's been hit, let alone sacked. So Very big problem in Cincinnati. They got to get it right. And John even put in here, Cincinnati will surprise you with the bad picks they make. Don't count on them not to draft 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds. Well, that is true, John. That is true. That's very true. We got to really be careful. I mean, they aren't the sharpest knives in the drawer when it comes to drafting. That's absolutely sure. Teixeira says, Parker Washington, what's his value after today's game? Sell high or sneaky buy for 2026? I say sell high to share. I mean, look, there's Jacoby there. There's Brian Thomas. What are they going to do with Travis Hunter, right? I mean, ETN, he's just kind of like another spoke in the wheel. Not saying he's a bad player, but I mean, he is somebody that we have to keep an eye on, right? So,
I'm not opposed to holding if I have him, but I'm not paying more than say a third or whatever for Parker Washington. It's too volatile. I don't know what's going to happen with Hunter, and honestly, I like Brenton Strange, and I mean if they open that up a little bit, they don't even need Parker Washington.
So let me say this: you like Brenton Strange? How strange? Just kidding.
Strange. Like Strange.
I had to throw that one back out there. So John says, "Preach it, Bob. The Bengals need to fire the owners." I'm with you on that, right? I know this division well too. I think for Cincinnati fans, I think that would be very helpful.
Burrow does have the Cardinals and the Browns left. Now, does Myles Garrett save that last sack and a half or whatever for Joe Burrow at the end of the year to break the record?
He could. He absolutely could. That's definitely in the cards. But okay, Big Culture, you got one more for us, I believe. What do you have for us here now?
Man, I kind of did say I was just going to go really off the cup today. I mean, like, we could talk about the Jekyll and Hyde of the NFC South. Like, what is this division? I don't even understand how, like, Baker's fallen off. Like, and it's like, oh, he's driving. He's going to make this. And then it's like he throws a pick or whatever at the end of the game. I'm like, what? And it's like, to some guy I'd never even heard of. And like, I play in a lot of leagues and with IDP players, and I'm like, Samson? What is this guy's name? Or whatever the guy's name that
wait, you know what it was? Samsonite. I was way off.
Like, I was way off. But like, seriously, like, I don't even know. Like, do the Carolina Panthers win this division? Like, and then like the Falcons. I mean, who are they? Like, what are they? And like, who is Kyle Pitts? Does he need to be a wide receiver? I legit believe that's the case. I think he's just a less athletic wide receiver. I could see him playing a Mike Evans role in all seriousness. The guy's got talent. He's just not a tight end. But like, do they have their quarterback situation figured out? Is Kirk Cousins going to be their guy going in next year? I mean, he's got the money to do that. Is that the case? Can the Saints get just a little bit better or whatever to, guys I sneakily am going to buy probably will be Shuck. And, if I can creep into an Olave share, as long as he can stay healthy, legitimately, like, I like Jalen McMillan, but man, he had a bad drop or whatever today. It wasn't really a drop. The ball hit his hands and he just didn't catch it. Was it that Baker was just putting too much smoke on her or whatever? I like Baker, but like, is he falling off a little bit? You know what I mean?
Well, Wiz, I'll give Wiz credit. I think Wiz made a good point. Is he banged up in some way? Because like, we've seen him do this with the Browns. Like, I mean, I remember that season he had that was real bad. That's when they let him go the previous season. Like, Baker isn't the biggest guy, but he is one tough son of a gun, right? Like, we talk about tough customer quarterbacks, Bob. Like, we talked about that earlier. Like, he's in that group, with Justin Herbert and Jared Goff, like them type guys, right? So, like, I don't know. Maybe he's just dealing with something. Maybe he's trying to play through it. But yet we know that can be a detriment to the team, right? Like, maybe you should rest for a week or two, but at this point, they're in too deep. I'm like you. Carolina wins this division. I'm telling you right now, Carolina with Dave Canales. And, another thing that's plaguing Tampa Bay, you lose Dave Canales, you lose Liam Cohen. Number two, great guys. I mean, look what they've done for Jacksonville and Carolina, right? I mean, these guys are for real. I think that they bring toughness. They like to run the ball, play defense. And in a division like the NFC South, that's going to win it, right? I mean, there's nothing there that's super explosive, super sexy. So, like, go ahead and run the ball, play defense, control the clock. just win it the old-fashioned way. And I think that's the way Carolina's doing it. Ted McMillan's amazing. And, one other thing I want to kind of ask you about this, like, what about this group of wide receivers, though, in the NFC South, right? Like, this might be the best division for overall wide receiver pool, maybe in the league. I mean, as far as like superstar talent, you got Ted McMillan, Drake London, who is no slouch whatsoever. Like you said, the quarterback play could be a detriment there. Chris Olave having a fantastic year, finally staying healthy. And then you got all those guys down in Tampa Bay. We like a lot of them. So, I mean, there's a lot of good quality wide receiver play in the NFC South in a division where it seems like running the ball and playing defense gets it done.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this ad nauseum, right? If you can run the ball and play good defense, you're generally going to be a good team.
Right.
I mean, the Chicago Bears are absolutely living proof of that. Yes, Caleb Williams had an incredible fourth quarter today. I'll give him that. But, or no, not today. What was it? Friday or last night? Last night. Yeah, Saturday. They played the second game the Saturday. So, yeah, but I can't. It's tough to see what's going on in the South and just have any real clue about it. I like it, but I'm also kind of like, I don't know what to bet on. I don't know where to put my chips. And it kind of aggravates the crap out of me, but it is what it is there. I mean, I told you, I like to know. I like to have a pretty good idea of what is going on over just like the hypothetical. And I mean, the hypothetical is fun, but I want to have a grasp on it, a little bit better. And I mean, there's some things that, I was like, I wasn't sure Shuck could be a good quarterback, but like knew that he had talent. He was talented in college. He just couldn't get off the injury bug. So far, he stayed healthy. Hopefully that can happen. The same thing with Olave. I never had a whole lot of Olave coming out of college because he was older, and I've need to shake that. That's one of the things that I've certainly just let go of because I know that I
what we need. We need to get you with Ty to get you like into that old, get you into that old mold ball with them older players. Like he would help you. With
I mean, more than anything, it's when they come out of college old, right? Like if they stay 4 years or whatever, I'm like, man, you've done burnt up 2 years of your pro life. You should have came out your sophomore year. You were a stud. I mean, and that's Ohio State, right? But then like I'm done with that now. Like Jeremiah Smith, that dude can stay 2 more years as far as I'm concerned. He's still a stud. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's certainly a lot of there. You're right. There's a lot of wide receivers there that I'd be excited to have. Now, the quarterback play's got to get a little bit better. I think for some of them would certainly be nice to be a little bit more consistent. There was something you were at. Oh, we were talking about. You said something about Cohen and Canales. Who is outside of Kubiak? I'm trying to think of who's the next hot offensive head coach or even coordinator.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, right now, it's tough to say. Like, you really don't see a guy in the NFL, but as we talked, Bob, like, it has been more of a defensive run the football type of year. We haven't seen extremely high end quarterback play. I mean, look, I'm sure, like, and I don't know all these coordinators off the top of my head, right? I really review that going into the off season here again, but I mean, like maybe Carolina's offensive coordinator is a guy that's going to get a look just based off of how much better they've played. Maybe Jacksonville's, you start losing some of these guys from a coaching tree too. I mean, it can affect a team, but I mean, maybe some people like that. I mean, I know the Bears are a team that's on the ascension. Maybe some of their offensive staff, considering that they're linked to Ben Johnson, are guys, but I don't really think that there's a sexy, super good name out there as far as an offensive guy off the top of my head right now. And you're right. That is odd.
I mean, if you wanted to re-roll Dable, maybe, you know what I mean? I can't think of the Vikings are basically the head coach is the offensive coordinator. LaFleur's the same way with the Packers. The Bears, obviously, and I'm just looking through the teams or whatever. I mean, Kubiak sticks out like a sore thumb. I don't know who McVay's guy is, but we've seen how well that worked with the Falcons, right? Like maybe that's not the way to go. And we know Josh McDaniels isn't, if he leaves, it won't matter anyway. He's not a head coach. He's definitely an offensive coordinator.
But yeah, Kubiak,
So,
you're right. I think Kubiak would probably be at the top of the list right now.
yeah, I don't know, man. That's it's a bigger topic for another time, right? But the NFL is not getting enough quarterbacks from the NF or from the NCAA. We're, number one, we're not getting enough, and the ones that we get, we tend to ruin. And I say we like I'm the NFL, but I'm not the NFL. But you know what I'm saying? The NFL is ruining these players, and then I think there's just a brain drain right now as far as like we're jettisoning guys off too quick to let them develop as coaches even right now. Like Dayball maybe shouldn't have been a head coach right away. You know what I mean? He the system he was running or whatever in Buffalo was great, but like maybe that, but he's got to have the right guy, and he didn't do it with Daniel Jones. And it's just I don't know, man. I just don't think we're getting enough talent. And it's like I had an argument discussion with a buddy of mine that he believes that the NFL is going to expand, and I'm like, man, if the NFL expands, it's going to be terrible because we're already we're already don't have enough offensive linemen. We already don't have enough quarterbacks. We already don't have enough offensive head coaches, or coordinators. Like, and it's like you got guys like TJ that is ready to get rid of his head coach that's, been a winning head coach his whole career or whatever. And it's like, it's stale. I get it. But I'm also like,
Get him out, Bob. Get him out. That's what I said. We need to change. Look, I mean, and I think it's more organizational, right? Like, I mean, I'm not denying that, like in Tomlin's case, he hasn't had some success, but he inherited a very good situation with a lot of good players, especially at the quarterback position. That's 3/4 of the battle. But I mean, I'm all in the opinion too. Like if you've gone through it like I have for this long, it's nice to get a change because it's always nice to get a breath of fresh air, try something different. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of variables in place. There's a lot of bad things going on in the NFL right now. If we have more teams, it could get very ugly, and we'll have to see, right? Well, let me just say this, Bob. What a great episode. What a great episode here of the Culture Shock here to close out. I believe, no, we got one more. We got one more Culture Shock in 2025. One more, but this is the last one before Christmas. So let me just say, I know I speak for Big Culture, and we wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Have a great holiday. Enjoy yourself. Get some time off. Relax. And we will be with you one more time in 2025 here for the Culture Shock. And if you guys are enjoying the content on Spotify, Apple Pod, Stitcher, Amazon, please follow and 5-star us over there. We'd love to have you. And we appreciate the support if you're enjoying the content. We really thankful for that and having you guys be a part with us over there. If you want to check out YouTube, if you're watching the Culture Shock live on YouTube for the first time, or you want to see the videos, go over to Dynasty DNA on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow. We appreciate that. Share. And the numbers are going up. Hit 300. Thanks to a lot of hard work from the guys to share. Everyone, thank you. We appreciate that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend ahead of you here. What's left of it. Enjoy it. And good luck in all your remaining matchups here for week 16. If you got some players going Sunday night or Monday night, we hope you pull out the W. And we will see you all on the next episode of the